First of all, let us discuss what is cloud computing. So nowadays, even if the college going students are also aware regarding what is cloud computing, then here when you have different devices with you, it is very difficult. For example, mobile. When you are taking too much photos or downloading too much videos and all these things, your memory, your storage will be out of storage. So that you have to delete all these things. Sometimes it will be very urgent to keep in your mobile, but you have to delete or move to another your storage device because out of space. But if you are purchasing Samsung storage or Mi storage, that is we are calling it as Mi Cloud, Samsung Cloud storage, you will be able to store everything. Google Cloud for storing your photos or videos, you will be able to access it from anywhere. That most of you are experiencing it, isn't it? So from the regular use itself, we are able to understand that cloud is a must in our normal life. Even for simple mobile users or for those who are using any web applications or anything, they have to use the cloud. So what is cloud, or why the name cloud came? How the rain is coming actually? We are telling that the rain is coming from the cloud. So we are not able to see the source. Like that, whenever we are getting some services, for that we are not able to see the source. Some sources are there, but we are not able to see. The end users are not able to see the source. At that time, we are telling that, or commonly it is called as a cloud service provider. That is, we are enjoying the service, but we are not able to see the source. So what are the services then we are getting? We will get all the infrastructure, platform, and the services required for our development, softwares.
Ma'am, something with the presentation.
Yes.
The presentation is not visible.
Oh.
I think.
Shijama, someone is assumed that presentation last week. The person is not.
Okay.
Ma'am, I can see the presentation.
Oh, someone is not able to see. Anyway, I'm resuming the presentation. Are you able to see now?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, as in Google Meet, we won't be able to see the whatever you are charting when I am presenting. So someone placed your not visible and all these things. Sorry for that thing. Can I continue?
Yes.
Okay. So everything is available as a service. That is cloud. So if you need a computer, you will get it from the cloud. If you need some servers, or if you need some storage, or if you need some platform for running your application, or platform for developing your application, or if you need some application to run in your machine that you don't want to develop or install, but you just want to run it in your computer, that everything is available from the cloud. So I hope you understand something regarding what's the cloud service. That is, what is the advantage of having cloud. So the thing is that you don't have to bother about how it is coming. You have to just use it in the manner which you want. So we are planning to discuss today when we have to move to cloud and where the cloud technology will be useful, and which are the companies commonly moved into the cloud. Anyway, now we can't simply tell only these are the companies. Even personally, we are using the cloud. So when we want to move to the cloud, when you are using cloud storage in your mobile, when you are finding that your normal storage is not enough for your storing your data. So in an organization, when the company is finding difficulties in managing the storage or managing the machines or investing, they are finding that they have to invest a lot for their future development. At that time, they can move to cloud. So why cloud? It is elastic in nature. Elastic means just like your elastic rubbers, whenever you need, you can extend the size. For example, you need 2 machines now for hosting your web application now. But once you launched your web application, for example, if it is a university site, when the exam result is coming, everyone will be entering into that site. So that the load of the machines which is running that website, that is the web host, will be very high, and we need too many machines behind this one to launch that website. So at that time, the web hosting company have to purchase too many machines for hosting that site. But after a few days, the usage will be reduced. At that time, whatever they purchased for that 2 or 3 days is waste. But if you are in cloud and you are using machines from cloud, automatically depends upon your load is increasing, the number of devices will be increased. And when your load is reduced, automatically the number of devices, whether it is a computer or storage or whatever device, it is a database server, whatever it is, the number of devices will be reduced. So elastic nature is there. Then another is redundancy. Redundancy means it will be redundant so that no one have to bother about whether I will get this service or get this storage or anything when I need. Yes, you will get it. And accuracy is there. Scalability is there. So because of all these features, and one more important thing, security. That thing we will discuss after some time. Security is also there, but whenever we are telling about the cloud, most of us will be asking whether it is secure or not. That and how the security is coming in cloud, we will discuss. Then what is cloud? Then that is some providers are there, just like Microsoft or Amazon. They have their own data centers where routers, switches, large configuration hosts or computers, we can simply call computers or servers, and high-speed connected network design, everything is there physically. So all the things are physically set there, and we will be using it from our side. That is cloud. So when you are asking for a machine, you have to specify the configuration that you need for that machine. That is, we are calling it as a virtual machine. I think all of you have a concept of what is VM. Anyone is there without having a concept of VM? If anyone is there, just tell me. Otherwise, let me continue. Okay, I think all of you have some concept regarding what is a VM. So when you need a machine in cloud, we are creating a VM. So you are telling that I need a machine with this operating system installed with this much hardware configuration and this network connected with this routing table connected, and I need access to internet from this machine. All this configuration you are specifying. At that time, actually a VM is created in the data center of Microsoft or Amazon or Google. So everything is physically present there. But when you are using it, it will be coming as a service for you. That is cloud. So the advantage is that you don't have to bother about how to manage that physical data center, the power consumption of that data center, then the maintenance of that data center, and the making available. That is, every time all companies have the main all the system administrators have the main responsibility of providing the machines and applications and all the hardware available when and where it is needed. So that is a big headache. If any disaster comes, the system admin can't sit. He have to run actually. So that types of overwork will be avoided when you are taking everything from the cloud, because all that headache will be taken by the cloud providers. So that is cloud. Everything is physically present there. So don't think that I don't want to study CCNA, I don't want to study Microsoft, I don't want to study VMware or Linux once I am into cloud. No, everything is there. So without physically present, how we will be able to provide it as a service? So everything is there. We are simply using it. Now in cloud technology studies, we will be studying how to use or how to ask them to provide the service. So that is cloud. Then the different service model and deployment models that we will come, and the cloud providers also. So now the deployment model and service models will come.
I'm
Anyway,
sorry for the interruption. Your presentation is not visible. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry for the interruption. Please double check that.
oh, what about others?
It's visible, clearly visible.
For all others, is it visible?
It was not visible, ma'am.
Oh, really sorry. Actually, I'm not able to understand why it is happening like this.
Yeah. Actually, someone else is interrupting.
Someone else has been shown his presentation.
Oh, someone may be playing in this one, or simply they may be checking what is happening.
Yeah, actually someone is from mobile. That's the problem.
Okay.
Can you please ping that the Shijam is?
If we
That's a good.
pin this chat, so there is no
Yeah.
problem.
Please pin everyone for the.
Okay,
Shijam.
that will be nice.
Thank you.
And then one more thing, it is a humble request to all of others. Those who are doing, maybe doing it by mistake, simply pressing or when we are listening, moving the mouse and all these things. So be careful also. Okay. May I continue?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So now in cloud, we know that most when comparing 95%, or we can tell that more than that is already using the cloud service. It is clear when we are telling about the mobile usages, but we are not realizing that we are using the cloud. If you are asking your parent, anyway, most of your parents may also have the latest mobile phone, and the mail ID may be created, or they may be using this WhatsApp and all these things, and they are using the cloud, but they won't agree I am into cloud. Any problem? Any problem? Okay.
Same problem. Aishwarya, please stop your sharing.
As I am presenting, I won't be able to see others. That is why.
Yeah. Done. Please assume Shijam is.
Nice, I'm doing it. Aishwarya, okay. Aishwarya, can you stop presenting? You may be done it mistake. Okay. So daily emails, phone storage, everything we are storing in the cloud. And then Telegram service, that is now, as most of the schools are using online classes and for sharing the notes and all these things, it is using Telegram instead of WhatsApp, because it is using only the cloud storage. Hello? Now, what I explained previously, cloud means it is a collection of hardwares and softwares which is maintained by some parties like Microsoft or Amazon or Google, or even you can maintain. Then it will be known as a private cloud. So once you have some cloud data centers, the users will be able to use it through network. They will be able to use it through HTTP protocol. And then can you just think, answer in your mind, or someone can answer, how is cloud computing is different from normal computing, that is the PC's hardware? After listening to me, can anyone is able to find answer yourself? Or
Ma'am, hello?
hello?
Yeah, continue.
Hello, ma'am. I think it is more secure than more data storage facility than PC's hard drive.
Yeah, we can tell more secure and more storage is available, and someone's type that pay as you go.
Yeah.
Yes, that is whatever you are using, you have to pay only for that. And it is more secure
Yeah.
because it is not in your physical environment. The security is assured by someone else. Like that, when you are putting a fixed deposit or anything, when you are taking locker in your bank. How we are
Yeah.
trusting them? Because we trust them, they are giving some assurity through the paper. We are like that. When you are placing your data in cloud, some security they are providing, and because of that trust, we will get the security. Actually, it is a shared security also. For example, when you are placing your gold in the locker, bank locker, and you are throwing the locker key and the code, everything without safety, and someone else is doing some malpractices with the help of the bank employee, then we can't tell that it is safe. Like that, if mistake is coming from our side and mistake is coming from the cloud providers, then only the issue of security is coming. Okay, otherwise it is secure. And another main thing what previously that Roshin told, that is pay as you go. That is, you don't have to buy all these things in advance. Whenever you want to use it, you purchase and use. And when you don't want, give it back so that you don't have to pay. So that is the main advantage when compared to our normal hardware. Okay. Now, next question is, do I need cloud computing? From my personal aspects, if everyone is thinking from your own personal aspects, you need cloud computing, either for chatting or for storing your videos or audios or for your photos and all these things. Then, from the company point of view, they means the IT admin have to think whether we need cloud computing in our organization. Depends upon their usage and the growth of their company, they have to think whether I have to move to cloud computing or not. Then another thing, if your company is a startup company, again, anyway, 99.99% sure that you need cloud computing. Because when it is a startup company, we have to purchase all the resources. Instead of that, if you are using it from the cloud, and if the company is not in the profit, is not running in a profitable manner, you can buy that. There is no too much investment. Then that is with this. Now, regarding the security, whenever you are thinking regarding any storage solution, even if it is in your personal laptop, it is not 100% secure. You placed everything in your laptop and your laptop password is open to all, or you written it in a diary and you misplace that diary in somewhere, then how it is secure? Even if you are not connecting that laptop to internet, someone can access it. If you are placing your laptop on the office table and password is written somewhere, anyone can access it. So like that, if no security measurements and precautions are done from your side, any storage device that is available in the world is not secure. So cloud providers are also telling that they are providing maximum security, that is 11 nines of security, 99.9.
Shijam is mic muted.
Whether you heard regarding the security and all these things?
Yes, miss.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you are okay, the cloud providers are guaranteeing that the security level from their side is 99.99 safe. That is, their data center is completely protected for physical protection it is there, and for whenever any packets enter through the internet, all the packets are completely monitored and proper firewalls are there, so security is there. And another thing is that whenever you are creating some virtual machines or whenever you are creating your own network, the password for your virtual machines and the network security which you created, for example, the security rules, firewall rules, all these things you have to maintain. So it is a shared security. Okay. So that is regarding the security of cloud. It is a shared security. And the hybrid cloud, we will come to that thing. Normally, what the cloud is not. That is, we may think that, not we, when in the before 10 years, if we are hearing regarding the cloud, we may think that it is something like the real cloud in the sky and we are getting something from there and some servers or something are placed like that. It is not like anything. Actually, it is in the physical location, which the cloud providers are calling as regions. In Mumbai, in Kolkata, and in another East US, Central US, so many physical regions, data centers are there. And all these regions are connected through high fiber channels. And within the region also, too many data centers are there for helping us. And all the data centers, which we are calling as the zones. Zones are connected through high-speed, low-latency connections. And whenever you are using your cloud service from your nearest region, you won't feel that you are using from outside. You will simply feel that it is in your machine itself. Okay. Then actually the growth of cloud, we can't predict it now. That is for Facebook itself, they are telling that more than 1.2 billion people are using Facebook now. So the total number, that is more than 11% of the world population is using Facebook. And when we are checking the cloud, it is more than that. Then these are the main cloud providers. Google Cloud is there, Amazon Web Service, Microsoft is there, IBM Cloud, DigitalOcean, Terramark. Actually, Terramark and all these things is for business purpose, and normal public cloud providers are IBM, Google, Amazon, and Microsoft. So we told that everything is available as a service. So when you need some physical computer, instead of going to a shop and purchasing it, you can ask your cloud provider, I need a machine with this OS installed, this hardware. If you are purchasing such an infrastructure from your cloud provider, it is known as infrastructure as a service. Once you purchased it, you don't have to bother about it, how they provide it, how they are maintaining it. You have to simply use it. And whatever configuration that you have to do inside it, do it and use it. And that is infrastructure as a service. Once you purchase the infrastructure, just like you are purchasing your routers, firewalls, or your computers from shop and connecting all these things, providing all the configuration inside that, like that itself, once you purchase this infrastructure from the cloud, all the configuration have to be done by you. Only they are providing the infrastructure that you asked. All other things, for example, setting the IP address, connecting to the switches or the firewall rules, network rules, all these things you have to do. That is infrastructure as a service. They are providing only infrastructure. Another is platform as a service. Actually, this is for the developers. For example, if I want to, or if I am a developer in .NET, I need one machine with some operating system installed which support .NET framework, .NET, and then some other packages also have to be installed. So instead of more concentrating into the development, I have to bother about which machine I will purchase, which hardware configuration I need, which OS I have to install, whether I need updates, which are the patches I have to maintain. Too many things I have to think. So as a developer, I will be very confused. I will be in confusion mode, and I won't be able to more concentrate on my development work. But if you are getting, for a developer, if he is telling that I need a machine where my .NET will work or where my ASP will work, then the cloud is providing the machines installed with the required OS and patches and your coding platform and all these things. You have to simply do the development work. So that is platform as a service. That is, they are providing a platform for your development site. So that is PaaS, platform as a service. Then software as a service. That is for business persons. They are not bothered about what is the infrastructure, what is the coding and all these things. They will be bothering too much about their business. So they need some softwares for improving their business, but they don't want to spend more time on installing that software or finding the hardware configuration for installing that software. They want to use that software. That is the main requirement. So in the case of SaaS, the end user don't have to install or they don't have to understand what is happening behind. They have to just understand how to use it. For example, Gmail, Facebook, then WhatsApp, all these things. WhatsApp anyway you have to install, sorry. Then some other web applications are also there, like Gmail, Yahoo, all these things. You have to simply take it through the browser and use it. You don't have to bother about how it is working behind. Most of the mailing things are like that only. Mail clients are like that only. And some, for example, if you are using only storage service, we can, anyway, it is not a type, but storage as a service is there. And for communication purpose, if you are using any services like Facebook or for any social media services, it is communication as a service. Then network as a service, where you will get some networking services. You will be able to create your own network, sub-network, and you will be able to implement firewalls and switches configuration, everything there. Network as a service. Then monitoring as a service. Anyway, in any organization, monitoring is very important, because if any leak happens or if any issues comes, if proper monitoring is there, then only we will be able to find the solution. So sometimes we have to monitor the log, or sometimes real-time monitoring is required. So too many monitoring tools are available in the market, and cloud is providing too many monitoring services to us. Even if you are not using any other cloud service, all the computers and all the hardwares and everything is your physical only, but you can use the monitoring service from your cloud to monitor your physical environment. So on-premise, everything you have to manage, but for an infrastructure as a service, you have to manage only your application and all these things. All the servers, storage, networking, everything will be provided by the cloud providers. But for a platform as a service, you will get a complete platform where you will be able to manage your applications. Software as a service, nothing you have to manage, simply you have to use it. Now, other terms are, that is computing models. Whatever we discussed till now is public cloud. That is, those who want to use the service, they can create an account. For example, Gmail. You can simply create a Gmail account and use the service. Azure, you can simply create an account just like your Gmail, but here we have to provide your card details also. Azure or Amazon, you can create an account there and use their service and pay for whatever you are using. That is public cloud. Those who want can create an account and use the service. But private cloud is just like your Exchange server and all these things. That is, companies will be, for example, the Technovalley, they are maintaining their own data centers. And if I want to create a VM in the data center, actually the Technovalley administrator have to provide me. I can't create, they have to provide me an account. With that account and the browser, I will be able to connect to that data center and create a VM. Understood? any public person will not be able to create any account in their data center. Only the Technovalley administrator can provide who are able to use it. They have to provide one username and password for me. Using that, I will be able to create VMs or network and all these things. And the companies are using, big companies are using private cloud because they don't want to place their servers and all these things in all locations. Instead of that, for example, Technovalley is placing all their servers in Kochi, but the branches which is running in Mumbai will be using machines which is running in Kochi only. The virtual machines and all these things will be running in the data center which is there in Kochi. So the hardware maintenance team and the data center security, maintenance, availability, everything have to be done only in Kochi center. Understood? So, but all other centers will be able to use the resource. So centralized security will be there, and moreover, all the changes what we need can be implemented in a single or multiple location, but it will be again managed. So that is private cloud. VMware have one tool known as VMware Realize. So we realize using that we will be able to create a private cloud. Even if you have a nice data center and you will not be able to use it through the browser from anywhere, you have to create a private cloud there, VMware vRealize Operations. That tool we can use for creating the private cloud in our organization. Then another is hybrid cloud, just like your phone. Most of the things are in physical location, something is in the cloud. If you are using the Telegram, some storages are there in your cloud, and when whatever you are downloading is coming to your phone. Like that, organization have most of the things or partial things in your physical environment and partial in the cloud. That is hybrid environment. So these are the just scenarios of public cloud. No resources will be there in the physical area. Private cloud, it is within the organization. Companies will have direct control, not from outside. And the hybrid cloud. And why cloud, you understood? Running out of hard space and we are not able to finding the solution, finding any other storage location, and we are out of resources. At that time, we can move to cloud. And cloud storage, Dropbox, Gmail, Facebook, Telegram, all these things are cloud storage. And marketing cloud platforms. Anyway, HubSpot and Adobe Marketing Cloud, all of you may be heard. And nowadays, Marocros for marketing is very important. That is for marketing purpose. Just like whenever you are storing for the marketing, Marocros and the HubSpot, Adobe, all these are famous cloud platform for marketing. Now, the main advantages of our Microsoft Azure Cloud. Microsoft started the operating system, which is by naming it as DOS, Disk Operating System. Later, too much graphics came and they renamed it as Windows. And different versions of Windows available with the different names, servers and client OS are available. When they started their cloud technology, they named it as Azure. So that is Windows Azure or Microsoft Azure. So actually, when you are creating an account, you will be getting near to 13,000 rupees credit. That is, you will be able to use all that amount. You don't have to pay anything to Microsoft. 13,300. It was that right amount in the last month. Anyway, near to that amount will be credited to your account, and you will be able to use that account only for using the cloud services. That is for free trial for 1 month. Then some other near to 25 services are completely free, and you will be able to use this account for 1 year also. After that, you can upgrade to pay as you go. That is, whatever you are using, you have to pay from your account, not from their credit. You have to pay from your side. But for a business person or any organization, it is not a big issue, because when they are comparing with the cost of purchasing it, it is very less, and they are getting all too much features also. Then for the developers, when they are using the PaaS service, it is reducing the management and operations overhead. And high availability, scalability, everything is available as other cloud services in Microsoft Azure also. And you can deploy code using any Windows language or runtime. That is, you can use your PowerShell or any Windows programming language you can use for your coding. Then when we are coming to the education side, anyway, whether all of you heard regarding a site SlideShare? I think most of you heard SlideShare.
Yeah.
Yes, miss.
Yes. Anyway, most commonly we are using it for our study purpose.
Yeah.
So that is a cloud computing in education. They are using the cloud computing service for providing their information to you. And according to my knowledge, SlideShare is using, partially they are using Azure. And another things are SlideRocket, RaspberryPi, Amazon Web Service. All these things are using for cloud computing in education. SlideShare, it is not mentioned here. Anyway, they are also into the cloud computing for study purpose. And you may be heard regarding Netflix. Now, whenever you are opening YouTube or anything, you can see the advertisement of Netflix, from where you are able to see the films. Yes or no? Hello? Okay. Netflix, all of you heard, na?
Yes.
Netflix is also, they are using the Amazon Web Service. They are using the cloud for placing their videos and all these things. Then in the healthcare, ClearData, Dell Secure Healthcare, all these are IBM Cloud. They are also for their hospitality, that is for the healthcare. These are the main things which is using the cloud. And for government, here we are not mentioning any company's name or anything. For what are the things government is using cloud is citizen services. That is, even when you are using your this thing, Aadhaar card number, wherever you are providing your card number, you will be able to, or the end user will be able to identify you, because it is available in the cloud. That is why with that number they are able to access your data. So like that, IT consolidation, share service, citizen services, for all these things, government is also using cloud computing. And which are the companies working behind it, it is not, we are not able to publish it. And another thing, anyway, too much interesting thing is IoT, Internet of Things. What is actually Internet of Things? Anyway, before 7 or 8 years itself, we started to see the advertisement of one AC, which we can control through your mobile. When you are traveling from your office to home, and meanwhile, you will be able to switch on your AC using your mobile by sending some SMS. Whether anyone seen that advertisement? Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes.
I saw it.
So now you are able to understand that you will be able to switch off or on your lights or fans or in TVs and all these things using some apps. So internet is connected to the real-time used devices like your TVs, switches, light, fan, and all these things. So the development team or those who are working behind IoT, their main aim is to connect all the devices, all the things, objects which we are using in your day-to-day life, like your purses and all these things, even your spectacles cover, your mobile phones, your keys, car or two-wheeler key, all these things to be connected to the internet. You know the advantage The thing is that if you placed your mobile phone somewhere, you will be able to find it by locator, or you will be able to find it by ringing. But if you placed your car key somewhere, how you will be able to find it? You have to do some other work. But just think, if some chip is there, using that one, unique identification is there, and you can send an SMS to that one to display a light or to make a noise. It will be easy for you to identify the thing. Okay, so like that, in the day-to-day life, which are the objects you are commonly using, the IoT team is working behind that to connect all these things to the internet. So smart home, it's a first step towards IoT. So using that smart devices, you will be able to, that is Alexa, Google, and all these things, you will be able to control your IoT connected devices. Alexa, please switch off my light in the second room. Then it will switch off because it is connected to the IoT. But all the informations behind this is stored in the cloud. So when it is coming to the complete IoT implementation, without cloud, nothing is possible for the IoT. Then another is data shows how future changes. Anyway, when we are checking with the usage, we will be able to understand. Even in our personal use itself, anyway, most thing will be moved to the cloud. Then another thing, storage capacity we can increase, and then enhance the performance of internet. If you are thinking before 4 or 5 years, just like this online class and all these things, we can't even think how I will be able to take all these things, because I don't have any proper internet connection and only 50 MB is available for a month, like that only. But now we know, and now all are enjoying the internet because too much data is available and high speed is available, and in each corner the network is available because the usage is increased too much. Yes or no? And all the students, those who are passing 10th, will have a phone, and they have to give their phone number for most of the thing. So before 10 years, if anyone is thinking that for a 10th or plus 2 passed student, if we are purchasing a phone, we will think, what is happening in this world like that? Now, if any college student is coming or BTech student is coming without a phone, then only we will think, what happened? Any problem in his house? He don't have enough money to buy a phone. We will think like that only. So the usage increased, and based upon that, the enhanced performance of the internet is also increased. So the chance of moving more into the cloud or using the cloud is increased. And they are providing high security, modular services, and economic also. Now, can we move to the certification details of Azure?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the need of taking any certification? Actually, just like that, even if you have enough knowledge, they will ask whether you are 10 passed, plus 2 passed, BTech certificate is there. Without that certificate, now will offer job for you. So certificate is a paper or a digital thing which shows that you are okay for that knowledge. Like that, global certification is also important for the companies to show that whether you are enough to handle the work. So like that, Azure certification is very important when you are moving into the cloud. So based upon what is the level that you require and based upon what is your background job, you have to select the certification. So Microsoft is providing Azure Administrator, Azure Developer, Azure Solution Architect based upon the role. If you are into a developing team, it will be nice to go through the Azure Developer certification part. If you are into a solution architect, anyway an administrator can become the solution architect also. Otherwise, if you are directly into a solutions and all these things, now you are in a big position of as an analyst and all these things, and you are moving to the solution architect, you can directly take that one. Or simply Windows Linux administrator, or you are a beginner into the IT, just passed your BTech and all these things, then you can think about Azure administrator or anything. Or if you are planning to move to the software side, Azure developer. But the thing is that, my opinion, whatever you are planning to take, Azure developer or solution architect path or administrator path, it is nice to know the administration side. Because you just think about you are a developer and you have 1 or 2 laptops given and connected and all these things. Suddenly you are not able to access the internet. You are not able to send mail, or you are not able to download anything. You have to take the help of someone else. But if you have some basic idea regarding what is internet, how we can check whether internet connectivity is there or not, or how I will be able to resolve the small problems which is facing when accessing the internet, and if my machine is going automatically off within 1 hour interval, how to manage all these things. If you know the such basic things, you will be able to stand in your organization without. Okay, so when you have some basic knowledge regarding all these things, it will add value in your organization. Or he or she is not calling for any small things like that. Even if you are into the development side and you are taking base knowledge of Azure administration, it will be nice for you. Then anyway, Azure fundamental certification is there, AZ 900, where we will be able to study what are the core things, Azure pricing, security and all these things. And then regarding the 104, previously it was 103, and by this August end, Azure Administrator Associate moved to 104. There we will be studying all this implementation of storage and virtual network, VMs and connections, firewalls and subscriptions, tenants, identities, all these things we will be studying, and you will be becoming the Azure Administrator Associate. But for the developer side, anyway, if you have the knowledge regarding all these things, it will be nice to understand too much. In the developer side only, we will be studying most of the PaaS services. So, too many other certifications are also there. I'm not covering all these things. Solution architect, expert level certificates are also there. DevOps engineer expert is there. And Azure Security Engineer Associate, an administrator can also become. A data engineer associate also. An administrator associate can become the data engineer associate also. AA engineer mainly for DevOps. That is, developer side only can become the AA engineer associate.